These noodles were such a hit with my family. I'm sure you are going to love them too. Hello and assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Indulge with Iti. On this channel, I share loads of cooking videos and the occasional lifestyle content. Today, we're making these prawn and chicken stir-fried noodles, a wholesome recipe that you can dish in under an hour. As always, the ingredients for this recipe are on the screen for your convenience. And to start off with, we're going to wash and prep all of our fresh produce. Today, for my choice of vegetables, I'm using a combination of bok choy, carrots, baby corn, ginger garlic, chillies, purple onion, green and red capsicum, and bean sprouts. Once all the veggies are well washed, we're going to chop them up into the appropriate sizes. So today I'm going to julienne all my veggies and try as much as possible to be consistent in the size of my veggies. This does two things. It helps your veggies cook evenly and also improves the appearance of the dish. After all, we eat with our eyes first. I love stir fries because they present an opportunity to add more vegetables into my meal. So if you have some cabbage, some long beans or broccoli lying around in your kitchen, go ahead and add these ingredients into your stir fry because there's no such thing as too many veggies. If you struggle with finding baby corn in your location, you can use frozen corn kernels as a substitute or fresh corn off the cob. Next, I prepped my ginger. I started off by peeling off the skin with a vegetable peeler, and then I went on to cut thin slices of the ginger. I then stacked the slices over each other, and with my knife, I cut very thin strips of the ginger. I repeated the same steps for my garlic, only I roughly chopped my garlic instead of finely chopping them. Depending on how spicy you want this dish, you can add or subtract the chilies. My little ones are going to eat these noodles, so I didn't want to overpower it with heat. I also removed the seeds and stuck with just the two. Spring onions are a vital ingredient for this stir-fried noodles, and today we're going to be using the bottom half of the spring onions in the actual cooking. And as far as the top leaves are concerned, these will be used for garnishing later on in the recipe. So you're going to want to cut the bottom half of your spring onion on an angle and set that aside. With the top leaves too, we're going to cut them into thin strips, as thin as you can get them, and then place it into a bowl with some ice and some tap water to create beautiful curly spring onion. This will be used to garnish the dish and make it look beautiful and palatable at the end of the recipe. Now for our bean sprouts, we're going to add some boiling hot water over the top and set it aside for about 3 to 4 minutes. This process is called blanching. What we want to do is to cook them, but to maintain that beautiful crunch. Once that's complete, we're going to go ahead and start to prep our protein. So here I am thinly slicing my chicken breast. I want to slice it as thin as possible to speeden up the cooking process and to also make sure that each bite comes along with some delicious tender chicken. So to season, I'm going to use some soy sauce as well as some of that shredded ginger that I prepared earlier and some garlic as well. I'm also adding curry powder and some Vegeta vegetable stock seasoning. Get in there with some gloves and give it a good mix to make sure that all surfaces are covered with this beautiful marinade. And once you are satisfied with the coverage, set aside in the fridge for later use. So today we're working with partially cooked store-bought noodles. These are Singapore noodles that I purchased from Coles here in Melbourne. They only take 4 minutes to cook in boiling water, and then they are ready to be added into a stir fry. Once the noodles were cooked, I ran them under some tap water just to stop any carryover cooking. Into a bowl, I added 2 whole eggs, followed by a few drops of fish sauce. I gave that a good whisk and proceeded to fry it into an omelette. This pan is super non-stick. It is a ceramic non-stick pan that I happened to find at Aldi. This year I've been obsessed with Aldi's seasonal buys. They've had some really great cookware. But the thing with Aldi is all their products are so seasonal. Once you see something you like, you might as well grab it that day because you're probably not going to see it tomorrow. These eggs were slipping and sliding. I took them out of the pan and I proceeded to roll them up and cut them into thin strips. So adding a bit more oil to my pan, I'm going to add my marinated chicken and saute my chicken until it starts to look like it's almost done. Remember, we cut our chicken into very thin slices, so this should not take too long to achieve. Once your chicken is nicely colored and looks like it's almost ready to be enjoyed, go ahead and add the prawns. And once the prawns are cooked, remove all the protein and set it aside. Add about a teaspoon of sesame oil into your pan and go ahead and add your sliced garlic and bok choy. Season with some soy sauce and proceed to saute your bok choy and add a little bit of water at a time to help the steaming process. It shouldn't take much long for you to have some beautifully seasoned bok choy that still has an incredible crunch. Now onto that stir fry. Add about a tablespoon of oil into your pan, followed by the spring onions and that sliced ginger. Warm up these veggies and then proceed to add your sliced chili, carrots, sweet baby corn, capsicum, and finally the purple onion. I then seasoned the vegetables with some Vegeta or vegetable stock powder, and I continued to saute on very low heat. We want to maintain the beautiful, vibrant colors of these veggies without overcooking them altogether. Add some salt and pepper as well to taste, followed by your ketchup, mayonnaise, and soy sauce. Go ahead and add your protein as well, that chicken breast and prawn. Saute for about a minute before going ahead to add our cooked noodles. These noodles are cooked all the way through, so once they go in, you can switch off the heat and just go on to add your cooked eggs, your bean sprouts, and additional ketchup, mayonnaise or soy sauce if you feel the need to adjust the taste. Finally, we're going to garnish our noodles with the spring onions and a bit of sliced chillies that I prepared earlier. Enjoy with your bok choy and a side of prawn crackers. I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe as much as I did sharing it with all of you, and I'll see you soon in the next one.